Chance to chat now on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline with former Redskins quarterback Joe Theismann, joining Ryan Rucco, Dave Rothenberg, in for Colin in the Herd. Joe, we've talked a lot this morning about Andy Dalton and how exactly we should feel about him as a quarterback. Big win for him last night, obviously. How do you feel about him as a quarterback?
Well, I've always felt that he was, NFL ready when he came out. And, 4 years into the playoffs, I mean, that's a pretty big accomplishment when you take into consideration all of the teams, even the Arizona Cardinals, for example, who, have continued to change quarterbacks through injury this year. His ability to stay healthy, his ability to lead the football team. And now that big rock's off his back. And it's good to see that he won a big-time game under the lights and had a chance to sort of put the naysayers away. He became the new Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was the one that got criticized, couldn't win a playoff game. Andy Dalton now, won a big game. That'll be the next thing he'll have to deal with. Can he win a playoff game? So, I'm happy as heck for him.
What happens if he doesn't win a playoff game again this year? If it's another first-round exit and he plays poorly like he did last year against the Chargers, does that carry him around for another season that he can get there but he can't win in the really big spot?
It probably will, but it shouldn't. Let's face it, last night's victory was as much a team victory as anything. I mean, the defense stepped up and played terrific. Andy made some great plays under weather we thought that would be terrible, which it was. And then you look at, the Denver Broncos are not a bad football team, okay? They're not, it's not a bad defense. I thought that overall he did a terrific job, but, obviously in the first round of the playoffs, it's another thing that you have to deal with. But, if the Bengals are going to advance, it's not just going to be because of Andy Dalton, and that's the important thing. It's going to be an entire football victory as they go forward.
Concerned about Peyton slowing down at all as the season's gone along, Joe?
Yeah, I am. And when you look at Peyton in bad weather, I mean, obviously if Denver winds up winning and going on to New England, what's the weather going to be like? Let's face it, he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's never thrown the tightest of spirals. So you get into inclement weather, you get into colder weather, you get into wind. It's going to affect Peyton more than anybody in the playoffs. Because of his age, because of his arm strength, all those things play into factors. He can think his way through every situation. One of the brightest men that ever played this game. But physically, there are certain things that you get limited doing as you grow a bit older. And that's where we're seeing Peyton now. I mean, he struggles with the ball. I mean, we've seen balls flutter and fall short, not only towards the end of the year, but as the year has gone on. And I think it wears on you. I don't care who you are. If you're 21 years old or you're 36 years old, 37 years old, the season is a long season and it wears on you.
My take on the AFC right now, and I've talked about it with Ryan, we've talked about it a lot, is that I would be really surprised if it wasn't New England representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I mean, you take a look at what they do at home. They're 7-0 at home. It's interesting. You look at the different teams, the Broncos, the New England Patriots, the Green Bay Packers, everybody that's undefeated at home, Cowboys undefeated on the road, which I think speaks highly for what they're capable of doing. But you look at the teams that hold serve, and you have to say right now, you look at the AFC, New England is so tough to beat there. They're so comfortable with their fans and that kind of a climate. They would have to be the one, I would think, the odds-on favorite to represent the AFC.
Talking to former Redskins quarterback Joe Theismann on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. Joe, if you had to bet on the future of Johnny Manziel or RG3, who would you choose?
I'd take RG3. I said it when Johnny Manziel came out. I mean, he's a dynamic personality, but he's short. He's not going to get any taller. I hate to break the news to all the Johnny Manziel fans, but and I think it's a factor in this game. And you saw him trying to outrun defensive linemen and outrun linebackers and wound up getting himself hurt. So the offense that, quote unquote, would take into consideration his ability to make plays with his legs is one that won't exist in football, because you have to be able to be effective to throw from the pocket if you're going to have any longevity in this game. That is something that Robert Griffin III has a chance to continue to work on and get better at. I think Johnny is going to be limited because of what defenses will want to do by keeping him in the pocket.
So if you're the Redskins, would you still try and build around RG3 after watching him, struggle through year number 2 and 3 in this league?
Well, I would build around my offensive line. I mean, Robert certainly has continued to try and grow and learn in this system. but the offensive line has just provided no protection for anybody. I mean, in the Eagle game, I thought they did the best job they've done in the last 2 months. But still, that to me is the Achilles heel right now for the Redskins on offense. Who's going to be their quarterback? This is going to be a quarterback competition now. This is the first time in Robert's career, year 4, he's going to have to be able to compete to be the starting quarterback of the Washington Redskins, and he's quite the competitor. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I'm looking at different teams in this league. Philadelphia, I don't know what their quarterback situation is going to be like. The Jets are up in the air. The Skins will be a competition. Buffalo, is it going to be E.J. Manuel? I mean, how long can Kyle Orton keep going? St. Louis, I think, is in dire need of somebody who can step in and play a season for them. So as you look at it, I didn't think there'd be that many teams that would be needing quarterbacks, but there's 5 or 6. It's like Tampa Bay, I think, is still unsettled. So it's just Washington.
Joe, tell us about the PenFed Promise Card Challenge you got going on.
Yeah, it's really a great thing. I mean, if you log on to, first of all, the website is very simple. It's www.penfedpromisecardchallenge.com. Get a chance to win some great kinds of gifts, some autographed items from me and Jerry Rice and Emmett Smith. Get a chance to meet Jerry in San Francisco or Emmett in Dallas. Opportunity to win a VIP experience to the big game in Arizona, because we can't say it. We know that. We have to be careful about saying it. But I think it's showing up the first part of February, and everybody will have people will have an opportunity to qualify just by logging on. And the great thing also about the PenFed Promise Card is when you sign up, some of the donations will go to the U.S. Marine Corps Toys for Tots, and the other one will be Homes for Our Troops. And what happens is they'll build customized, adaptable housing, mortgage-free, for severely handicapped vets coming back. And so I'm thrilled to be involved, excited about the PenFed Promise Card Challenge. And for those people that sign up, it's a great opportunity to get a chance to go to the big game, get a chance to meet Jerry, meet Emmett, get prizes from all of us. And I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to be a spokesman for them.
Joe, it sounds like a terrific thing. We certainly appreciate all your insight this morning.
Thanks, guys. Listen, have a wonderful holiday, a safe holiday to everybody.
Same to you. That's Joe Theismann, former Redskins quarterback, joining us on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline.